What is going on, good people? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Say That Podcast. You all know my motto, don't say this, say that. First off, I want to thank all the good people that tuned into our last episode featuring Amanda Shea with a special guest appearance from Mr. PSA. If you haven't already tuned into that, please go to our YouTube, Apple Podcast, and Spotify podcast page. It's available. And as always, make sure if you're on our YouTube page, please hit that subscribe button so we can grow our numbers. And if you didn't already, please follow the pod on Instagram, say_that_pod. Now that intro's done. Ladies and gentlemen, today's guest is what only can be described as a weapon. You know what I'm saying? Please welcome all the way from Lowell, Erdnaez The Weapon. What is going on, man?
What is going on? How we living?
Of course, how you living, bro?
Oh, you know me. I can't complain.
Yeah. Start of the summer. Summer's going right.
Summer's going all right. You know, weather's getting cool. You know how it is in New England. Shit is it's 30 degrees and then it's 70. So you know.
Yeah, exactly. There's no proper way to prepare.
Right. But I adjust. So you know, I'm used to it now. So you know, now the fly stuff's out. So.
Hell yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Well, first I want to thank you for coming down from Lowell all the way here to
Thank
Beverly.
you for having me.
Of course, you know what I'm saying. I really appreciate your support over the last couple of months. It's been mean a lot, and honestly, I've been getting to know your music better, and I gotta say, huge fan.
Oh, I'm
really
blessed. Thank you for that.
I'm excited to dive into that. But with those music starts, you know, you're having an incredible start for the year. You know, we're roughly 6 months in now. First quarter, now we get into the second half. You're already on Champion Sound. You just dropped the Naez Show.
Yes, sir.
It seems like, you know, your momentum just keeps on going and going and going. So how have you been feeling with your hot start to this year?
So I've come into this year with, you know, kind of a mindset like I'm really trying to establish my name out here. Like I'm really like I'm coming with a different type of energy, like as opposed to last year. You know, I was kind of, you know, getting my praise, but like I was kind of putting things out here, putting things out there, not really being in anybody's face. And you know, thankfully I've been blessed with being around, you know, all of these talented guys with all these great minds that have, you know, kind of in a way been rubbing off on me. So I'm like, you know, I really gotta step it up and be out there. So I felt like, you know, that's how we should like hit the year this year. Yeah. So I'm feeling pretty good about it, and you know, there's only more to come. So
that's what's up. Well, and on top of, you know, being a part of Champion Sound and dropping the Nation, you're also a part of the Chamber, which was really excellent. I love seeing people that like I know participate.
Right,
in
that was
event.
fun.
Yeah, because that was an all Lowell Lawrence one, was it?
It was Lawrence. It was I'd say it was more Lawrence with a few Lowell cameos, but you know, when not too many people in the area, you just kind of go with the 978.
Right,
you know,
exactly. It's all one area. Hey, listen,
right.
there was some former guests on there, and Ishan and Zay, so that was really good to see.
Yeah, no, there was some monsters on that show.
Yeah.
Like I got hip to a lot of people. You know, Isha already knew.
Right.
Master her craft,
of course,
doing what she do. But you know, there was I met a lot. Like that was the first time I met Ashawn. It was the first time I met like Jenkins and stuff like that. Like there was some monsters in that show. So
that's what's up. So it's good to see you connecting like that.
Right.
I honestly would like to see you collaborate with all of those guys, because knowing your music and getting to know your music, I can tell.
Right.
So with your momentum that you carried into these first 6 months, what do you hope to continue doing in the next 6 so that you close out 2024 strong and enter 2025 even stronger?
So apart from, you know, taking a lot of time to be in the studio and get my reps in, get done what I need to get done, a big part I feel I need to start, you know, highlighting, I can admit this, is, you know, I really want to get my presence out there on my media and my social media a little stronger. I'm very used to, you know, being a ghost and being low key. If it wasn't for, you know, this music show, I'd probably be on private, on the gram, everything, you know what I mean? And that's just kind of, I'm adapting to that right now. So it's like now I am, you know, now that I'm, you know, getting a bit of recognition and starting to, you know, become a household name in select areas, I gotta, like, you know, really step that up and just accept that, you know, I kind of have to be out there on social media and shit like that. So that's kind of how I feel.
Yeah, I understand you with that, because, you know, running media with anything, no matter what you do, if you're an artist, podcaster, you know, producer, whatever, you do have to kind of like take that set amount of time during the day and really like grow that page. And it's like, and you know, if the numbers ain't there right away, it kind of, you know, deflates your morale. And like, because I've felt it, you know, admittedly, some of the reels I've been posting haven't been doing much, and I'm like, damn, I just wasted
it gets you
X amount of time on it just for this stuff, and it's just how you respond to that, I think, is what really matters, and I think that's what more people notice, honestly. At the end of the day.
I like that you're 100% right. Like sometimes you can see some shit and it really might sway you, and you're like, it's not even getting the numbers you think it's getting, but like. Also, too, algorithms are a motherfucker.
I'm done trying to figure it out. I'm just done. It's just like
that's some math.
I'll throw some hashtags in there. I'll post it at this time. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, maybe I'll try a different time. I just don't like because people are like, oh well, if your face ain't in it, if it's a girl with her chest out, it's like Well, that's just so confusing. It's what the fuck?
There's so many said rules to just what might pick up more on and at this point I'm just like fuck it, I'm just keep going.
That's it.
I'm gonna just keep posting.
That's it. Keep it going.
If you like it, please like it.
Yeah.
Fucking that's kind of how I see it. But consistency is just what I'm trying I'm really focused on in that front. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do nowadays.
Right. So as I've said, I've dove through your music, and one thing I can really notice from you is you got powerful and well thought out lyrics that really encapsulate the true spirit of you being a weapon. You're one of those people who, when I look at you, your name matches your music. So when you first started rapping, what was that like for you? Like, as you came to be this transformation of just maybe Naez to Erdnaez The Weapon.
So, funny thing, when I first started rapping, my name, my Erdnaez The Weapon, the name itself, that was, I was trying to be creative. Like, the Erdnaez part, that's my name flipped backwards. Yeah. I was like, that's pretty cool, but the the weapon part I kind of put a little more thought into because I was trying to, I really wanted to be a force. That's kind of how I felt when I was kind of trying to start rapping. And when I first started, getting in the booth and things like that, like I feel a much more aggressive approach to a lot of bars and a lot of a lot of subject matter and a lot of things that I had a much more I feel like that was akin to the time. There was a lot going on. I was angry motherfucker, and I was like, Deevo brought me in the booth. We went to Rhode Island. He was like, man, just rap this shit. He gave me a great fucking beat, and then I'd
love to hear that.
Yeah, from there, that's kind of how shit went.
Yeah, I love that because I had Deevo in earlier this year, and we talked about obviously Champion Sound and assembling the team together. But really what stood out to me, and I've heard him say this on other platforms, was like you're in his relationship. You can really look at it as like a Shaq and Kobe type vibe,
right? Because
every time you two link up, we know it's gonna be heat. So you've been friends with Deevo for how long now? How long
maybe a decade and some change, maybe.
Right.
It's been
very, very long time. Enough that when you two link up, it's an automatic. So how has it just been, just working with your best friend like that and making all this timeless type of music?
So that's it. Honestly, it's a blessing in my opinion, because I don't think everybody gets the opportunity to work with somebody you've grown up with, somebody you have a great rapport with. There's mutual respect always. You guys understand each other at a certain level. So at the way I want to rap, or the way you can criticize each other and be fine,
right, and
all that stuff, and it usually produces the best product most of the time. So I think it's great. It's
And real quick, are you a member of Under Construction?
I affiliate, if you will. It was Under Construction is just a collab of some monster producers and creatives like him and my dog Pharaoh, and I was one of the first to kind of start rapping in there and getting stuff out of there. So I got the honor and privilege of being affiliate.
Yeah.
But working with we're being able to put our creative minds together, to put what we put together is it's an amazing thing. And we've had the same taste in music since 6th, 7th grade. So, we was listening to the same stuff. He'd put me on to shit that his brother would put him on to. So we in the 8th grade listening to real old Gritty Styles P and all sorts of shit, you know what I mean? When we first started listening to Mad Villain and we was Doom and we were enamored by Doom at that point in time. It's Like, it was a time.
Rest in peace, Dumile.
Right.
100%. Well, I love to hear that, man, because like you said, it just comes with the territory. I will say, a lot of my friends aren't as creative in terms of that stuff, but I still enjoy their company. But I just feel like when you have, you guys were in 6th grade, and now all the music and stuff you've just been putting out, I have you on Apple Music, so I've been going back since 2019 and listening to this stuff. And Deevo and you are just all like one year after the other, just going through it. So to hear it from him and then from you can really tell that relationship is going to skyrocket, and it's going to take you to even more places that you haven't been
right.
yet.
And he's biggest supporter, biggest
Absolutely.
assister in what I do with this stuff. And he's, if I need to be on the right track, he's gonna put me on the right track. He's gonna tell me we got to do this, that, the third. Like, we got to keep this at this quality. We got to keep. So it's and he could like I said, that's your dog. He can keep it straight with you,
Right,
and not mince words and stuff.
Trust me,
like
when
that.
he was on here, I was getting. It's like, all right, I get why they call you the coach.
You feel me?
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's
So,
like, you just got that vibe like
that's
that.
what. Yeah.
So speaking of that album, you've also now been working with a few people off that album for a few years now. I know May Star, Aerold, C4. When it first dropped, because and the whole city was going up for it. It was just something that we have never seen before. All of these amazing artists just on one track list of just amazing stuff. How did that feel for you to just be a part of that? And to know that, we really have some legendary shit here. And even maybe the next time we do it, it's even going to be bigger.
Man, I honored and blessed. And it was one of the, greatest experiences, because it was just like, you just got like for my people that, play ball and hoop, when you get a run, you get a real run, and then you really look around the gym and you're like, wow, all the dogs came today.
Yeah.
Like, hold on, wasn't he playing over at, oh shit, like he's getting, that was the vibe when we first started getting shit together. So it was like, I already had done a few things with, May Star. I did a track with C4 and stuff like that. I got to work with, Flo but being able to, for the first time, I think that was it. I was able to work with, Najee and Aunt Bell and Milk. Yeah. And as you can see, I ain't got much, my words are there because it was just that awesome of an experience.
I can definitely tell, because especially with the Naez Show, it just seems like you coming off that, you just carried that from one album to the other.
Yeah.
And especially even with the White Camry Tapes, it was kind of that whole 3 album sequence for you is really awesome.
Yeah.
And you can just tell how much your music improves from before the White Camry to after. And it's almost like all of those, working with Deevo and all those people, it just rubs off on you.
Right.
As you said earlier.
And it's a funny thing about that. There's in one of my earlier projects, Dark Psychology, one of my early projects.
Yeah.
We and Deevo were both kind of in our building phases and trying to figure out how we do shit. And you could hear in one of the tracks, I think it was Twisted. You could hear in one of the tracks where it got better, the mix is this, and then you can hear in my second verse everything just got better because he started getting nice at at engineering and shit like that, and it was just you can hear it was in the middle of that project where you could kind of hear that jump. So that's awesome for me to hear from you. I'm glad people kind of are able to recognize.
No, definitely, because when it comes to these interviews, I want to, as much as I want to get to know you, I also want to dissect in a way your music,
right,
and to show that you are growing as an artist. Because even if you're an established star among the scene, let's just say among the scene, like a Dutch Rebel, but there's still ways for her to get better. So It's just cool to see that no matter where you are on the tier or where you go about in the scene, each time you drop something, it's really going to be better than the next. And that's honestly the case with a lot of rappers from the city. I can't really think of someone or a group that their first stuff is still better than their next stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there's a really, like, that's what it gets down to with Boston in particular, is the hard work and mindset.
Exactly. That grit that you just kind of get, hard. Like, I got to be better than the last time I was seen. I've taken that from sports. I brought that. Like, I'm a competitive motherfucker. Yeah. So it's like, whatever I just put out, like, the next thing I put out has got to be better. It's got to be like of the same, like it's got to be up there.
Yeah. Well, I do want to ask you. I knew we were talking about scheduling for this episode. You coach?
I do.
What do you coach?
So I coach basketball.
All right.
On the side, I coach.
Like my man Mike Scarfer here too. Old basketball coach.
I coach AAU, and then I coach a high school as well. And
that's what's up.
Yeah, I've been doing that for like 2 years now. But I've when I first started, getting into anything like that, it was like right out of high school.
Yeah.
And I was doing like skills training with kids younger than myself, because I kind of picked up on being able to kind of teach those things really well. Yeah. I was a big fan of like, Devin Williams, in the lab, 10,000 hours, like that inspired the hell out of me.
That's what's up.
In a million different ways. A, while I was playing and trying to get better, and B, after that, I was like, I get a lot of what he's saying, so like I could teach a lot of this. Like, one of my dogs, I was training for, a bit, and he got to a point where he ended up just kind of being the best out of us all. And that's, if there's any, that's a trainer's dream, coach's dream right there. So it worked out, and I kind of took a break from that. I didn't do any coaching for a while or skills training or anything like that. I kind of had more of a focus on just day to day working and shit like that. I cook on the side and stuff.
Okay, there you go.
That was my thing, and then I got an opportunity to coach again. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this. Like I got the time, I got the weekends to be. So like, it's one of my favorite things to do. I have to like pick and choose, when I can be intense, because sometimes I might have like a show or something that same day. Like actually, same day at the Chamber, I had a tournament.
Wow.
So I had to coach that. Get out of that, run over to the Chamber. Yeah. My voice is all kind of fucked up, so I'm scared my voice is gonna sound, because I'm over here, yelling. There's no help sign, all this crazy shit. So I be yelling that all damn day
on your Popovich shit. You
know exactly. What I mean? So I could get pretty intense with my older kids and stuff like that. Like my younger fourth, fifth, sixth. I'm kind of. I don't want to kill the love. So I'm like calm with it, but like with my older crowd, 8th grade, high schoolers, I'm yelling like a motherfucker. So that's
the age group that they're going into like high school.
Exactly.
High school ball is like just as important as like college ball. It's a precursor.
And I see myself as nice compared to whatever high school coach they might get. Yeah. Like what I'm allowing, like they're not. And so I have to make that kind of stuff clear a lot. Yeah. But yeah, I'm like trying to figure out maybe I can get my point across without yelling all the damn time. That way I can save my voice for a show. Like that.
That's what's up.
That's kind of all I've been doing. But yeah.
Because it's, developing, who knows how good these kids are going to be once they get past you. You know what I mean? So you can look back and be like, well, I'm glad, Coach Naez drilled this home with me and was like, I'm a better person because of it.
Yeah. Nah, for them, I'm Coach Z. They don't know. Yeah. Naez is the other
side.
I'm like Batman sometimes. You feel me? Like, I gotta.
That's you going to the show. You know what I mean?
The graduates and anybody else, you old enough, sure, pop out to the show. Anybody younger, I'm like, they don't know nothing. They don't need to know nothing. Yeah. That's kind of how I treat that. But like,
that's what's up. So, speaking of basketball, and actually probably back to something Deevo did say on his episode over here, last night, we're in the finals now at the time of this recording. The Celtics are a day removed from sweeping the Pacers and are on to the NBA Finals. We are 10 games, or should say 10 days away from the finals. Probably going to play Dallas. But, let me shut that off. I don't know why he was texting me. I apologize.
No word.
I completely forgot this freaking Mac, man. It's like it links to your phone. I completely forgot that. So anyways, we're 10 days out from the finals. Probably going to play Dallas. And Deevo, I remember, had said that, if they win the finals this year, the Celtics, the tone it's going to set for the city is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Like, just for like, from a working standpoint, from being, we're back to that city of champions type thing.
Exactly.
So what do you think? We doing this thing?
I truly think we could do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to be, I think, I'm concerned for a few reasons. This was I'm glad we got a sweep.
Yeah. We earned that sweep.
We earned that sweep.
We earned that sweep.
It was tough work.
Yeah, we earned that sweep.
But, in a lot of ways, the way we playing, I'm not entirely confident in how we're going to start this next series. We don't, I was all right with seeing Dallas because, we didn't have to compete with any bigs with Minnesota. We didn't have KP, so I was concerned, all right, we're going to have to deal with Cat. And
Gobert,
Rudy and guys like that.
Naz
So
Reid.
I'm like, Naez Reid. Yeah, so I'm like, all right, that's a big concern for me. But with dealing with Dallas, it's like we only really have to concern ourselves with
Kyrie and Luka,
which is the base of their entire offense.
Of course.
Boston plays basketball where you're gonna watch the game. You're going to have a heart attack up until 6 minutes left in the fourth.
Ain't that the truth?
And then they're going to put you at ease.
Yeah.
And be, okay, all right. We might win this. We can win this game. I don't think we can afford to play that kind of basketball with Dallas. Kyrie is in his most dangerous element since I've seen him at Cleveland. So
that's why I'm happy we're going to play them because the storylines just line up so perfectly. It's Kyrie back for the finals. It's KP against his old team, too. We got 2 all-defensive guards in Drew and Derek White. It's
going to be a hell of a series.
I'm at, a point of confidence I've never been at with them.
Right.
I get why people might not be because there's that still, little thing in the back of my head that's what
Celtics basketball,
right,
man.
but it's what if they don't? But it's no, they will. We're going to do this. We got this shit. Tatum and Jalen played out of their minds. I'm excited. I'm excited. I wasn't as excited playing the Warriors because I knew, I was happy we made the finals. That playoff run was just wow. I can't even believe we got to the finals on that.
Yeah, and at that time I kind of had an idea how that series was gonna go.
Yeah, it's because it's the experience thing.
Yeah,
it's Curry and Clay and Draymond. They've been to. What was that? Their 6th finals.
Dynasty's already been made.
Right. Well, would it have been nice to win? Yeah. That we didn't. I can't really hang my head and sulk, but it's because it sucks to lose. But you have to look at who you lost to.
Exactly.
And this time around, the only veteran on the Mavs is Kyrie. Luka's never been there. PJ Washington, shout out Kentucky, Kleber, fucking. I can't even name anybody else on that team besides those 3. But so we've been there. Only one of them has.
Right.
And plus we got Drew who has won a title.
Yeah.
So it just to me in my head it all wires up to we're winning the championship this year.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm coming in this we bleed green, we gonna get we're gonna get our ring.
Yeah.
And that's how it is. And then the brain in me that's just watching this basketball for the past few games, I'm just like this got me a little worried. I don't know. I need them. I think this is going to be a 6 or 7 game series.
Oh, I think it was
honestly
7. I might have a heart attack.
I think it's going to be a 6 or 7 game series.
Yeah.
I
want them to win at home though. That's why
I would love for them to win at home.
Because I'm confident in winning at least 3 of the first 4 games. But it's if we win the first 3, they beat us in the 4th game, and then we ended in 5. I'm all right with that.
That'd be nice.
Win it at home, like the last time you won the title. Win it at home.
That's ideal. Kyrie scares me, man. I
don't like the guy. He's been playing out of his mind. Right. He really has.
He scares me this.
Because it's gonna go one of 2 ways. It's we beat him and get revenge, or he goes off the first 2 games and silences that crowd.
That's my fear.
Yeah,
and I think Boston.
But
we're a tough people. We're an antagonizing bunch.
Oh,
at times.
100%.
So I feel like that's the bear I'm not trying to poke. But
on the flip side, I think he hasn't won a game against the Celtics since stepping on the logo. I think he had. Well, I know I shouldn't probably say that, but it's like, give me any stat you can give me that makes me confident. All right.
I don't want to mess with the magic on that. Listen, we gotta keep the magic on that.
Yeah. This is if they lose, this is all on me now. I just put this out on YouTube.
They gonna pull this. I know, right now they gonna pull the clip up. I'm over here sitting in the goddamn couch.
Everyone's
like,
innocent.
This motherfucker, who does he think he is? Naez.
Everyone in this room is innocent, besides me. All right. Wow, I didn't think of the repercussions.
All right, man, this
like
shit
the
can get-
repercussions that are
quick.
gonna come with that. I'm like, shit. Oh man. But one thing I do want to talk to you about, Ball, is for your cover art of the Top Contenders freestyle, you used one of my favorite, not really forgotten, but least talked about all-stars ever, Gerald Wallace. My man from the Bobcats too.
Yo. So funny you asked about that. I was really in my basketball, like I was still kind of hooping actively. My knees were a little better, so I was out there. I still had buckets on my mind. I was like, so a lot of my art was sport inspired, and then on top of that, with if you see the little strip over his eyes.
Griselda type stuff.
Exactly. I was, real Griselda influence. So I was like, let me fuck around with this, make something cool, make it simple. I was fucking around with clip art and shit and trying to, be artistic. So that's kind of how I was going about it.
Yeah, because I love that. Because anytime, like, if you get me started on, like, random NBA players, I'm going to just have, like, a field day. Like, I was talking about, Shavlik Randolph, Leandro Barbosa, and Keon dueling on the Celtics.
You are cultured. See, this is what I want on Twitter with basketball. I'm tired of arguing with motherfuckers who started watching basketball when Golden State got good. And I'm just here to say that right now. I'm tired of y'all. Get off the
Yo, you was not a Celtics fan if you didn't watch a season where the starting five was Phil Pressey, Jeff Green, Chris Humphries, freaking it was like one of the final years of Rondo, Avery Bradley.
Exactly.
We had because I was just thinking about
shout out Avery Bradley.
I will say we have Brandon Bass, who follows us on Instagram, actually. Yeah.
Oh man.
We actually have a segment named after him I'm gonna bring up later, but yeah, it's just that's how you know who you dealing with when you're talking hoops.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Like I'm gonna admit I can't really name like the random guys like this generation. Because I'm still trying to learn the league and stuff like that. And who's on what team?
Listen, there's a lot.
Because you got a lot on your plate now with just stuff. So your attention span just focused on, all right, work, this, that. And if you have stuff for fun, you maybe not doing, looking at, all right, who are the bench players for the Hornets and freaking the Pistons?
No, that's exact. Like shout out my friend, my boy Luke. He's one of like the biggest statisticians I know. He's all about. You ask him about anything. He's got one of my favorite basketball takes. Like I could bring him anywhere. Yeah. And he'd just start arguing with a motherfucker. That's my favorite thing.
No, you need that. No, you need that on your roster. Like I got 2 or 3 guys. I can hold my own in something with like throwback stuff too. But it's like, yeah, you need. It
really all depends on what we're talking about too. Like I'm really like, if we're just talking how these teams are playing, then I'll get real passionate about it, and I'll get real like. But like I also avoid specific debates. Like I stay out of LeBron and Jordan debates.
Yeah, I'm done with that. I was done with that freshman year of high school. Yeah. I was just done with that. I can't do that no more.
I don't do his Kobe in top 5 debates, top 10 debates. I just whatever. Yeah. I let that go because it's like the amount of stars we're getting now. Eventually, they're gonna be in those debates. So it's like just let it all happen. And I feel there's a lot of factors to everything. Like every era's been,
100%.
There's different. There's an era where, bigs were actually needed. Yeah. Now you can't get away with not having a stretch big on the floor. Right. Anything like that. If your big can't shoot, then, there's a slimmer chance.
Every time a big has a big 3-point game, it's like the first in his career. It's like, yeah, obviously. It's like Horford. Exactly. He had 7 threes in that game. It's like, yeah, because up until, the Warriors started getting good, no one wanted big men shooting threes.
Right. Speaking of Al, don't do me greasy this series. I need you to really just play some good basketball.
I can see that.
I need good basketball.
I can see that because I will say in this last Pacers series, they were getting a little disrespectful with him. They were leaving him open. They were like calling his number type thing. Right. Because he admitted he was playing like shit. But, it's just a guy who's been there, like I said, in 2022. This is probably his last year. I think if we win, he retires. He's going to be 38.
I would.
You know what I mean? That's it. Go out on top.
Right.
And then we can get someone to replace him, which I would honestly prefer. But, yeah, I think he's got it. Because hopefully, let's work with this. Let's say Porzingis is back. If he isn't, that load goes to Horford.
Right.
And then he's going to have to step up and take on that, maybe 7 threes a game role.
Right. With Dallas, I see him handling whatever he has to handle.
100%.
Fine. That's why I was preferring they win the series in the first place. I was like, he won't. It'd be less of a case of him kind of being exposed. Like if you remember in the fucking Cleveland series, Every switch you got, Darius, they used food for Darius Garland. That whole goddamn series.
That was bad.
Every switch was like, let me get Al.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm trying to. I don't want that. I don't want nobody. I don't want them to be put on no island in this series.
No, yeah.
But, I think we should be fine on that front.
Yeah. Oh no. I love our matchups against Dallas, just from the 6 in the rotation from the starting 5. And if you want to throw Porzingis in that starting 5 plus Pritchard and Horford, I really like.
Shout out Peyton Pritchard, by the way.
Pritch, please. You know what I mean?
Pritchard,
that man's playing.
Pritchard.
Yeah, he's playing determined.
Peyton Pritchard.
That's a determined man right there.
Like, that's real. That's real gritty. That's Boston basketball.
Yes,
right
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what.
And not just because he's a white boy in
Boston.
That's
what I'm saying. But like, still, I like. White boy, that's a gritty white boy. That's my favorite basketball right
Spicy
there.
P, baby. That's that spicy white boy shit. You know what I mean?
Honestly.
But yeah, so we're in for a show with these finals, definitely. Another thing that you love, and I'm glad you do, wrestling.
I sure do.
Wrestling. And I want to specifically shout you out for this. At the end of Some Wong, you used the New Jack promo when he was in Jim Cornette's shout out white boy, you know what I'm saying? Shout out OJ Simpson. That's 2 less white people we gotta worry about, baby.
Yo, hey, listen, I put that there for all my real fans, and I'm glad you caught that. 100%. Like, that just made my goddamn day right there.
Because that led into TLC, and then you
right.
This is for the world. That was Justin Roberts too, right?
Yeah.
Even with that muffled voice, I knew that.
I've loved wrestling since I think I started watching it in when I really started watching it, I'd say maybe 2004, 2005.
Yeah, that's about the time I did too.
About SmackDown was probably the slightly bigger show at the time, depending. There was Brock Lesnar was
Kurt Angle, the SmackDown 6, Los Guerreros,
you feel
Benoit,
me? Yeah,
Mysterio, Edge.
It was that Raw had a great roster too. That was one of my favorite times. I think that 2003 going into 2004, Kane taking off his mask and being and my opinion, and I know a lot of the old heads are gonna hate me for this opinion, but I still think that's the scariest iteration of Kane. I know a lot of people like Mask Kane. He was walking around like Michael Myers back in 98, 99, but like. I'm sorry when he took his mask off and thought he was scarred and he wasn't, and he's over here setting Jim Ross on fire and shit. Like
fucking
electrocuting Shane's balls. Like that's the scariest Kane. Like that at that time when I was that age, like I thought he was gonna burst in my room and set me on fire or some crazy shit. Like
you know who I was scared of? And literally every time I was there, would hide behind my dad, the Undertaker.
Undertaker's a scary motherfucker.
I was a scary motherfucker. Like. I couldn't get over the lights going out and the gong type of shit. I don't know what it was.
Eyes
it was
in the
just
back of the
scary.
head, bro. That's
but see, the thing with Kane was that pyro scared the shit out of me too.
That quick,
because you didn't know when he was gonna come out. It just boom, and you're like, oh shit.
Quick drop. I seen a show with my dad in 2008. We went to see a Monday Night Raw, and I remember we had really close seats, like we were by the barricade.
That's the best.
Shout out my folks because
100%.
They did a lot to get those tickets.
I got a story about that too.
Yeah, that was a great Christmas gift. But I remember Kane came out and popped my fucking eardrums.
Yeah, bro. Especially when he does the turnbuckle shit.
Yeah, and it gets hot. Like
and you smell it too and shit
damn.
like that. So mine's was for the SmackDown 10-year anniversary show. I'm sitting dead slab front row, like right in the middle, like you see a young me just in the cut,
right?
And this was when DX was on that comeback, so they were doing the bang 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 in the middle of the ring. That scared the shit out of me too, because it's just how close it was. It was like I was like, my fucking ears to myself, like shit. That's my See, wrestling ticks like that are the best shit you can get for your birthday. Bro, one of the best things I did or I got was. It was 2006. It was for my birthday in 2006. I'm in the car. I'm in the backseat, obviously, because I'm still not grown up to sit in the front.
Right.
I'm in the car going down my street, and I hear my dad call my mom because my dad was driving. And he's like, yeah, we're flying into Detroit at this time. We're staying at this hotel. And I'm looking out the window. I just go, I was like, what did you just say?
Right.
Like,
you're confused. Where we flying to?
Tell me. There's no reason for you to go to Detroit other than WrestleMania.
Right.
And he's like, I'm like, are we going to WrestleMania? And he looks, he goes, yeah, they went.
When Dad.
I went, what?
You
Like I was
feel
just like, I was like, oh my god, and that's why like that shit, you know, that maybe particular WrestleMania doesn't really hold up all the time. You know, Shawn Michaels versus Cena though, the main event, chef's kiss.
Fire.
But just getting that experience and being like, wow, like this is like I'd only seen it on TV. I didn't think I'd ever go to one because they don't ever come to Boston or anywhere in New England. So it's like
you get rare shows. Like the few ones I saw in Boston. You either get, you know, you might get lucky and get one in Boston, and then you'll get like a super show in Manchester, which is like,
that's
honestly. But let me just say, like, let me not downplay that. That was like the last time I saw one of those. That was a really great show.
Yeah,
I still have this memory of rocking a Kofi Kingston shirt.
Yo, shout out Kofi. That's a Massachusetts native right there.
Came through, dapped me up, nice shirt, man.
Yeah.
I never forgot that. I still got the shirt. I mean, it's like a sports bra now. I don't rock it, but like, I still got it.
No,
like,
you gotta hold on to that.
You feel me?
Absolutely. Because I still wish I had my WrestleMania 27 shirt. I've been looking online for an adult size one.
Right,
honestly.
so you gotta eBay a lot of the good shit.
Oh,
now.
all the time. eBay is so key. I actually got a funny Kofi Kingston story too. So I was at another live event.
Yeah.
And we were on the floor. We were sitting second row. And we were kind of in the corner, like, you know, where they may come out or like where the steps are where they go up.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there, you know, just talking to us. This woman sits down. She turns around. She goes, "Hi, I'm Kofi Kingston's mother." I went, "Oh, word!" I was like, "What's going on?" Like, just right away was like, and in my head, I'm like, "Is she lying or stuff like that?" But when he comes out, he runs right to her, and she's like, "Hi, mom," and this, that, and the other thing. Yo, the Miz got in her face, and she went, "Fuck you."
I think he's Ghanaian, right?
Yeah, he's from Ghana. He's from Ghana, West
no way.
Africa.
I doubt when he first started wrestling. You know, they were like awesome, like. So I'm sure if she was willing to like mention that he's definitely started.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, especially
real.
what he's done since then. You know what I'm saying? I was at the WrestleMania when he won the WWE title. It was awesome.
I don't see too many African parents, proud. My son is a wrestler.
Yeah,
I'm not seeing it.
What's his face? Omas. He does that.
Omas.
That's a big motherfucker.
Big dude. I don't know how I feel about his in-ring work, but that's just me.
It's just he's a big man.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's for the appearance.
But
it is what it is. Way better than Great Khali, though. I'll say that.
I'll give it. Khali. I think. By the time he came into the WWE, he was, things were really already starting to take a toll on his body.
Jacked and like
jacked, I know,
in shape.
And a lot of those clips I've seen of his older shows, like he was a lot more agile.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you see Big Show in his WCW clips, and he's over here doing shit off the turnbuckle, and jumping,
doing
over
drop kicks and shit like that.
And it's like God, and I think his body really started to hurt.
100%. So I gotta ask, who's your top 5 wrestlers all time?
All right. All right. I'm gonna say no particular order.
Yeah, that's okay.
Just to start.
I just want 5.
I'm gonna go Shawn Michaels.
I like that.
Kurt Angle.
Yes, sir. Need that.
I'm gonna say John Cena.
Got him. Gotta say it. Gotta
might
say
be
it.
controversial. 5 moves to doom. Whatever.
I don't give a fuck.
Great.
Fuck you. That's John
He's a
Cena.
great.
You
exactly.
can't see me. Like, you kidding me?
He's a great
Massachusetts man too.
Right. My last 2 are kind of a toss up because Samoa Joe.
This man knows ball. This man knows hoops.
I'm gonna say Samoa Joe,
This
and
man knows
then
hoops.
my 5th. I'm gonna say Rob Van Dam. That's probably
the best
my
top 5 I could ever hear any day.
That's probably my top 5.
This man watched TNA.
Right. I have a lot
This
of
man watched
seconds.
TNA. I know you did.
Exactly.
This man watched TNA.
Total Impact shit. You
Yeah,
feel me? Like,
100%. Yo, I was so. That's another guy I was just infatuated with was Rob Van Dam. I loved everything, and that was before I even know he was a stoner like that.
Great thing, right? Great thing.
You know what I'm
great
saying? Just that
in-ring
swag. You know what I'm saying? The whole crowd's doing
Whole
this
time.
shit. It's
Kurt Angle was without a doubt probably one of my
guy
in-ring guy, and I loved everything about, especially like my favorite Kurt Angle is that point. I think it's like he's that 2005 ish. This is before he kind of makes that TNA jump.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like at this point he's like a rabid dog.
Yeah.
He's not even spitting promos no more.
Nah.
He just got
suplexing people.
He just got the TNA mouthpiece. He's just growling at niggas like
on the
good.
Perk Angle. That's right, Pharaoh. Perk Angle era.
Going crazy. Like that was my favorite. Like I was fucking up tank tops because I'd be in the fucking like I had my own fucking spin. Just messing shit up. I got yelled at a lot for that.
Oh, the funniest thing, in 4th grade, they banned us from doing You Can't See Me.
Yeah, that was the whole problem.
They said that in the DX shop. They said
shit,
both. If you did that, you'd get in trouble.
I got a few talkers too for that because, that was, I did it the 98 way. Because, they started crossing over, in like the 2098. They're pointing right at the crotch.
98's the point.
There was no like...
Yeah.
Is it? So, I got in trouble for that one.
Yeah. See, but I'm like, what's wrong with You Can't See Me? It's just cool. It's just,
I don't know. I think it was too swaggy.
It's too swaggy
for the teachers, so they weren't
100%. Oh, man, that's been awesome.
Man,
I love having convos with people that I know are wrestling fans, but when they actually like know their shit like you do, it's like it makes the shit a whole lot.
I don't get to chop it up often about those kinds of things. So it's like when I really get a real fan.
When I was planning this, I'm like, I'm asking this dude about wrestling.
And shout out Nate Nix too. That's why, because he's like,
yes sir.
I love seeing this nigga's tweets.
Yes sir. Yes, that's why. That's
another dude who know ball.
100%. No, you could tell that dude knows ball. I seen him at the last AEW show we went to at the Garden when Mercedes Moné debuted.
How was that? I've never been to an AEW show.
I've been to like 8 AEW shows. I've been to how many pay-per-views now? 2. I've been to like 5 Dynamites. They're just lit.
Yeah.
Because it's like I like that alternative stuff, so that's what makes it more like lit. Where it's like, all right, I can finally like sit here. I don't got to sit in my house. I've traveled for them too. I've been to New York now. I'm going 4 times next month. But they do a show every year at the tennis stadium. I've been to the first 3. I'm going to Long Island for Forbidden Door, which is their collab event with New Japan.
Right. Oh, shit.
I actually went to Forbidden Door last year, too.
Yeah.
That was because it was in Toronto. Toronto's one of my favorite cities, so I was like, I got to go to that.
Right.
But, it's just so much fun. It really is. I just enjoy, like, do I like one company over the other? Yeah, like I like AEW's prefer the WWE's, but if I go to these shows, I'm there to have fun. I'm not there to be like,
that's how
ball breaking and shit like that.
The most fun I've ever had at a show was a local show. It was a CW wrestling show.
That sounds lit.
It was
in
Lowell.
Lit.
I remember my mom's friend, her friend's mom used to work at this bar, and they used to host shows at that bar all the time. So she got tickets for like me and my friend and his cousins and stuff like that. We went to go see a show, and that was probably some of the best wrestling I've seen I can remember. And on top of that, it was just like, it was just fun. They were interactive. It wasn't like a different energy because it was a smaller house show. Like they treated it as such, and that's also too kind of when I gained this big admiration and respect for like wrestling and their craft and what they do. Because I was like, man, this shit is not easy. Like they, I got to do a meet and greet in the pictures. I tried to get in the ring, and I'm like, damn, this shit is not easy. Like, let's take a little bit of work.
Legit. And I remember going to WrestleMania 24, a block party they had like leading up to the event. They had like a replica title.
Yeah.
Like the legit one. And I'm like this, I was 10?
Right.
You can even see it in the picture. It's like I'm leaning this way and I'm trying to hold it up like this because it's dead heavy. I'm like, God damn it!
Like
I thought
because
I thought they were just toys and
that's
shit.
what I thought. Right.
I didn't think they were.
I had the foam joint.
Yeah, I did too. I'm like, oh yeah, I have the world heavyweight title. Oh my God. I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like, take a picture.
I'll take my shoulder.
But I gotta actually suggest to you, if you're ever in the Worcester area, every Thursday there's a promotion called Beyond Wrestling. It's that type of vibe. They run shows every Thursday.
Okay.
I haven't been to one yet. Chairman Chow actually did invite me to some. Me and him are gonna go out soon, and he does some photos for them and stuff like that. But yeah, that's we have that vibe still around here too.
I gotta like that's one thing. That's another thing. Like I love wrestling, so I'm definitely
of course.
Any of the local promotions that you see this, like you
Erdnaez The Weapon sounds like a wrestling name, you know what I mean? It's like I can imagine calling you out like that. I mean, on some Justin Roberts shit,
Somebody needs a theme. Let me know. Yeah. I'm trying to. Shout out Action Bronson. I know he did hook shit, but like, I
seen him wrestle. I saw Action Bronson wrestle at that New York show. Yo, he did good. I was hyped for that. I was dummy hyped for that.
I was. Shout out Bronson.
Yo, that's the last thing I want to say about this wrestling stuff is like it's so intertwined with like hip hop and rap.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like West Side Gun alone, but then you look at Action. Rick Rubin like loves wrestling, so it's like, yo, it's just so lit. That's what makes it more lit. It's like I can just relate to these wrestlers.
It get intertwined. Some of the best, and some of the best spitters I know are fans of a lot of the wrestling. Like too. Shout out my dog Sheesh.
Sheesh likes it too. That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, I love that shit. So we had mentioned before that the late great Doom was one of your inspirations to start rapping. I absolutely love that because Doom is in my personal top 5. Was there any other inspirations for you to just start getting into this craft?
Oh, man. So I'd say some of my biggest inspirations would be definitely, aside from Doom, definitely Styles P. Styles P was a huge inspiration.
That's a great
his
pick.
cadence, his style. Earl Sweatshirt, I listened to a lot. I loved a lot of his earlier work and stuff.
I can tell a little bit. I hear that here and there in the music. Yeah,
big fan of his. I was a big fan. Still am. Let me not say it was. Like, I'm speaking in present tense because these guys are still all dogs in my mind. Late great Mac Miller. Rest in peace.
No one iller.
Like one of the best. I was listening to him in middle school and shit like that when he was first kind of starting to pop. And and then easily probably Conway the Machine. Like he's a huge like.
Yeah.
I love there's not a lot better, and I think he has one of the most unique, crazy cadences.
Yeah. He's a psycho.
Right, like he's a monster.
I was in Miami in December last year, and I was wearing the Hacksaw Jim Duggan shorts at Westside Drop.
Yeah.
And I'm walking down the street, and I know it's a sneaker store. And I'm like, oh, that's lit. And I see some guy do like that to me out of like my corner of my eye. I'm like, is that Conway the Machine?
Right.
I was like, whoa, what? I was like, what the fuck? I'm like half drunk. I'm like, what's going on? So I dapped him up. He's like, hey, nice shorts and shit like that. Because mad people wearing Westside stuff too. I was like, yo, thank you and stuff like that. Yo, it's like, yo, that was lit. Because I had just walked to the convenience store to get, a cigar and drinks for my friends.
Yo, and shout out to him for just interacting with his fans like that.
Yeah, they're all nice like that. And I remember going to Survivor Series 2022 in Boston. I had seen Westside, because he's always in the front row somewhere. And while he was going up to the bathroom, he's saying hi to people. People are saying hi to him. He's all nice about it, you know what I mean?
Right.
But my thing with that is, like, don't take that stuff for granted when they do that. Like,
Well, yeah, because then you got people that, then they...
Like, can I get an autograph? Can I get a pic?
Can I get for everybody. And it's like that with rappers and fucking... It'd be worse with them wrestlers because, everybody's trying to make a buck off of them. So it's like, a lot of people do take that shit for granted. But I do think it's cool, like, that they even, like, taking the time to interact. Some people could be Hollywood. There's people that don't have no type of platform and they be Hollywood now.
Yeah,
you feel me?
Yeah,
so that's what's up.
I see that a lot. Yeah, and I'm glad you said that. You know what I mean?
I felt that needed to be said.
It did, and I'm
glad. Fit, you feel it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad you said it. So my last question is I want to ask you. Erdnaez The Weapon. If you had to pick what kind of weapon you rap like, what kind of weapon do you think you rap like?
Oh, that's a good question. Damn. I don't know. Let me think, because I was gonna say something. I've been playing a lot of Fallout 4, so I was gonna say something crazy.
Yeah, and it could be any. Hey, listen, it could be any weapon. It could be a video game weapon, a movie weapon. It doesn't matter.
For my dogs that seen The Wire, Brother Muzon had this one pistol. I can't forget. Yeah, it was a PPK. Yeah, PPK. Damn, I forgot, but either that or it would definitely be a sword or some shit. But like it'd be a specific sword, like it'd be that same sword that Sasuke got for all my anime fans.
Okay,
it'd be something like that. Or you know what? And I'm not even being specific. I'm just throwing fucking weapons up there now. Nah, it'd be that, or it'd be for all my people that are interested that have played any of the Star Wars Force Unleashed games, fucking Star Killer, the lightsabers, but they not just any lightsabers. They got to be the ones where you hold them back, Like you got him like this.
Exactly,
Like
got him at the side.
that's kind of how I see.
Yo, I love that second game.
Right.
The
Force Unleashed 2.
Oh, I love it. It came out on the Xbox One backwards compatibility. I played the shit out of it. I got hyped when
it made it so good because you were just stupidly powerful.
Yeah, yo, you were like, you were dumb powerful.
You do whatever.
That was it. Like, you just had to spam every attack button. You didn't even have to hit block.
Shit got bad. I had to start, like, I almost got in trouble one time because I remember my mom see me play that game and I looked like a little sociopath. You could like, cause you could like, exactly. you could force hold, throw your lightsaber at them, and then they're just like sitting there, and I was over here like, you know, shaking them around and shit, and my mom saw, what are you doing? I was like, yeah, you know, I look bad.
Oh, that's why I'm so glad we had this conversation because I just hear like all relatable shit.
You feel me? Right?
I love that. So, last question I want to ask you. I'm bringing this segment back because I have noticed over the last couple of episodes I have not done it. So, it's a segment we call Gas, Bass, or Mass and Cass. And what that entails is I'm going to give you a question, and you got to tell me if it's gas, you know, you like that take or you agree with it. If it's bass, it's like, that takes kind of mids, you know. It's pretty decent like Brandon Bass, you know what I mean? Brandon Bass, he was all right, you know, shot the midi, but he was just decent.
Played his role.
Or it's Mass and Cass where you got to clean that up and get rid of it.
Right.
You got to get rid of it. So, the Celtics have been getting a lot of shit. These whole playoff run. Oh, you know, no Jimmy Butler round one, Donovan Mitchell, nothing, Jared Allen, no Halliburton. You know, despite them being the number one team all year, and they're all complaining about an easy road to the finals, even before this run even started, we were hearing it. Do you think that's valid, or are people just like, you know, they blindly hate it and they don't really like understand that the number one team gets the easy road?
I think, mass cash take. I think when you're the first seed, you get an easier road, one. Two, I'd like to just say, you know, when we got the record we did to put us in the first seed, we had our big.
Right.
We don't have our big. That kind of changed our game a bit. It's not entirely, you know, too damn bad. Have healthier players. I don't know what the fuck to tell y'all. Like, that's not
right, exactly.
You feel me?
Like we can predict when these players get hurt. It's like, no.
Like, my bad, you know. Shout out Donovan Mitchell. Real great, but, you know.
Yeah. I mean, but even still, he played the first two games and we still won. I mean, we lost game one, but the rest of
motherfuckers were dancing when JT rolled his ankle last year.
Right, exactly.
I saw that. Y'all were hyped, so go fuck yourselves. I don't give a damn.
It was first play of the game, he rolled his ankle. I'm like, fuck you.
Fuck that.
Fuck? Right. And like, you want to talk about easy roads? What, those LeBron? He didn't have an easy road all the time on those Cavs teams. Man. He was steamrolling freaking, you know, the Raptors with DeRozan, the wannabe first team Hawks. It's like,
oh no, you don't say that. You might get the LeBron fans after you for that. You know,
bring that on. You know what I'm saying? Because he's got the LeBron fans. They ain't even Laker fans no more. Because wherever Bronny goes, he's going. So have fun with that.
That's a whole other thing, man.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. Because that's something to look out for in this offseason too.
Brian, we'll talk more about that. We'll talk more about that. I got more to say about that.
Exactly. But, you know, we're going to wrap this up now. Naez, I want to thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
This has been a really awesome episode. If you could tell the good people where they can find you on your social medias and all your music, please do so. If you want to give anybody a shout out to, you absolutely have the floor.
Shout out my people, my fans, the people at home that are watching. I thank you. Okay, now shout out my boy Deevo. Shout out my boy Pharaoh. Shout out all my dogs that, you know, helped me along this journey, and you know, help me be great. I'm Erdnaez The Weapon. You can find me. I'm gonna spell it for you because, you know, it's not. Yeah. You're not gonna know. ERDNAZ. I even fucked my own name up. ERDNAEZ. The Weapon. You can spell the rest. That's on Twitter, SoundCloud, Apple Music, whatever platform you could think of. That's my name.
If it has music, he's on there.
Exactly. If it got music, if you on Pandora, I don't know why you still on Pandora, but if you are, I'm on that too. So,
yo, real quick before I end that, speaking of you brought up Pandora, you know whose station I had? Jim Johnston.
Listen, hey,
Listen,
and
he
shout
knows.
out, say that. Cause man, listen, I haven't been able to talk this candid about anything wrestling related in like forever. So this feels great.
Yes. That's why we're here, though. But good people, I want to thank you for tuning in to another awesome episode. Naez is gonna drop some bars too, so you may want to have to tune into that freestyle because that's gonna get crazy. I ain't even gonna say what the beat is. Once you hear that beat, it's gonna get crazy. But as always, if you like this video, please leave a like and comment and hit that subscribe button to help us grow our subscriber numbers. The goals have been going steady upwards like a big flight of stairs, and I love it. And please follow us on Instagram, say_that_pod. You can also follow me on Instagram as well at REPETE617. That's REPETE. I'm Repeat. That's Sir Naez. I want to shout out Farrah for coming through, Mike Scarfro on the ones and twos. And y'all know the drill. Don't say this, say that. Peace. Wow. We'll see you in the next one.